Have you ever considered what life might be like for you if you chose yourself? Maybe that's not even a thing that's on your radar, or maybe you have no idea what I'm talking about. But we're going to unpack the experience of choosing ourselves. So, choosing to live a life that is fully aligned with who we are, who we're evolving into, and kind of what that can mean for ourselves and the individuals around us. Hello, fabulous. I hope today is treating you kindly. We are graced with the presence of my baby Jake again for this video because he needs his emotional support human today, and that's fine. So we're just going to roll with it. As I said in the intro, we're going to talk about choosing ourselves today and what that looks like and what that even means. This is something that I've been exploring personally, which has kind of been laid on my heart quite a bit in the last couple weeks. So I wanted to discuss it with y'all because I feel like there needs to be space for these conversations and really just an opportunity to unpack all of the things, what the whole experience of choosing yourself. So if you haven't done so already, please do like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you can stay up to date on all my latest content made for you by you. So let me know what you need. Give me a comment below. Let me know how you're doing. I am a little distracted because there's so much dog glitter that's happening all over my lap and my tablecloth and all the things, but that's fine because it'll wash out. Not a big deal. Um, so what does that mean to choose yourself? What does it mean to exist in a space where you feel like you get to prioritize yourself? You get to make decisions about your life based on what is most aligned and best for you. And for some of us, that is, as easy as breathing. And for others, that is almost like a foreign concept. And so, these are the individuals I'm speaking to directly. I happen to be one of these folks who is only just exploring what it means to essentially exist in my own energy and honor my own needs first. And let me explain why that is a beautiful thing. So, as a recovering people pleaser, many of us, and myself personally, have the experience where we exist thinking about the response of other people. Maybe it's because, that's the hand that life has dealt. Maybe it's, the way we were raised. Maybe it's just this is what we thought we had to do from very early on to figure out how to survive, right? This is the best way that I can exist, or this is the only way that I can exist. Might be where you're at. And again, no judgment, totally fine. You are where you are, and that's great. It's just that when you grow up or when you exist in that energy of perpetual people please, and I'm not throwing rocks at it, there's time and places for this sort of behavior, but if it's a situation where you live your life entirely to for the benefit of other people and ignoring yourself and your own needs, or you're maybe not even aware of what your own needs are. Like, I know that for myself personally, this has been a reality for me for decades. Like, I never thought about whether I wanted to do something. Like, I didn't consciously think about the impact of my behavior on myself personally. So we're going to explore that today. I had a recent experience. I was actually in the shower because that's where I get all my great ideas. And I was thinking about a situation where I had to accommodate someone. So we had a scheduled event and it needed to change because things came up, stuff happens, whatever. That's life. And I immediately accommodated without even thinking. I was like, yeah, sure, I'm flexible. I respect your time enough that I'm so honored you're willing to spend the time with me and prioritize me in this way that I would love, love, love to be able to get to engage with you. So sure, absolutely. You let me know when you're available. I will make myself available, whatever. And as I was reflecting on this experience, I was like, I do that a lot. Like, I'm super accommodating, incredibly flexible. And I was like, how do I feel about that? And that was the part where I was like, oh my. Because, how we respond most of the time, our behavior is pretty generally automatic. Like we don't really think about a lot of the things that we do. We're kind of running on default patterns because our brains are efficient and they would rather just have a default pattern for as many things as possible so we can reserve the best part of our braining energy on stuff that actually requires it. So as I was thinking about my propensity to accommodate, I recognized that that is part of a pattern of behavior that wasn't necessarily supportive or helpful to me in the past. And I thought, well, do I actually want to accommodate? Because I could feel all kinds of ways about this. I could feel like, oh, well, this person, I'm not that important to them because they chose to prioritize something else over me, or whatever the thing is. I don't know what happened. I didn't ask either because frankly, that's none of my business. Like, I feel like if you're going to tell me what's up, you're going to tell me what's up. Otherwise, that's a need to know thing, and I'm not one of the need to know. So I could have felt all kinds of ways, and I thought, well, I don't feel anything in my body that would indicate that this is not in alignment for me. There have been moments as I was, opening my mind to this possibility, I was reflecting on moments where I had been accommodating but didn't want to. I was like, God, you canceled on me again. Okay, well, fine, I'll make it work because, I need to do X, Y, and Z and I need your participation. So, okay, I will make it work. And sometimes it does feel like you're not prioritized, that you're not as important to the other individual, that it can feel like, you're an inconvenience or whatever the thing is. And that energy is really heavy. So I recognized the difference between those experiences, and I recognized how it felt in my body between the two experiences. Both were automatic, right? I just accommodated because that's default pattern. But it was interesting to take that pause because in the first instance that I discussed, I was perfectly fine. Like, I just had no qualms at all. I felt totally good in my body about my decision. In the second instance, I felt icky. Like, I just felt not necessarily inconvenienced, but just not seen. And I recognized that there was opportunity to experience that in both of these instances that I just discussed. And I realized it all boils down to who I am, what I want to experience in the moment, and how I am choosing to interpret and what actions I'm choosing to take based on what I interpret. Like, how do I feel about this? Is what I feel accurate? And is this what I want to choose? Do I want to choose to feel XYZ kind of way about this situation? And what I am finding is as I'm reflecting on how experiences make me feel, it's powerful because if you are doing something, if you're running a program, as it were, a pattern of behavior that you've always done, or maybe you've learned to do for whatever reason, that doesn't feel good in your body, or like after you've agreed to whatever the thing is or committed to whatever the thing is, you're just not feeling it. Like you come back later, or maybe you feel emotions attached to that, like grumpy or inconvenienced or whatever. I know we're having a time of it, sir. This is terrible. I understand. We're having a moment. Bear with us. So, sometimes we have situations. Thank you. You're very sweet. Mm. Dog hair. Doggy glitter. Where we're not feeling it, we're not there for it. And maybe we examine what led us to that space and think about what we want to do differently, or even just pause, like take a moment, like you're presented with a situation where you would normally do X. And you're like, okay, wait a minute. Let me just think about this for a sec. Let me just give myself some space. Can I get back to you? Let me look at my calendar. Let me marinate on that for a minute and I'll get back to you. And I feel like that's really powerful to give ourselves some space because it gives ourselves some time to reflect on Thank you. On where we're at and what's important to us and what we value. And the key thing here, especially when we're trying to change unconscious behavior, is we need to notice how we feel in our bodies. You might notice some emotional responses, like let's say you're supposed to do a thing with a family member and the family member cancels on you and maybe they flake out a lot or maybe whatever the situation is. And you feel all kinds of ways about it, but then you just kind of go along with whatever the thing is. Or maybe somebody's insulting you, like, and they just, oh, I'm just kidding, or I'm just playing, or I don't really mean it. And you're like, actually, you kind of suck. You need to quit doing that. And that's what you feel in your body. Like if you notice sensations of just like, ugh, cringe, just feelings like it's just not aligned for you. It's just not there for you. Notice that. Pay attention to that. That is important. Your body's job, besides carrying you through this physical experience, is to tell you things about your experience, tell you things about your environment. Its job is to communicate with you. So if things are getting communicated with you, like, actually, I don't think that this behavior that I'm engaging in serves me. I don't think I need to choose this anymore. Maybe I can choose something different. Maybe I can feel empowered to do something that's not this. And you know what? My therapist in particular has challenged me with observing my behavior and noticing what parts of that behavior feels authentic to me, that feels like actual genuine Amber, and what feels like social Amber just trying to exist in a world where I can feel as safe as possible, right? What part of me is old pattern? What part of me is new pattern that I want to choose for my own self? And sometimes, I'll be honest, there's opportunities. I know you're bored. I'm sorry. You chose to be down here. That's all I'm saying. You're going to have to cope with it for a second. We're almost done. Sometimes we have situations where the exact same behavior can feel two different ways, just like how I described. I accommodated someone in both instances that I had shared with you, and one felt good and one didn't. And just noticing. You can still engage in the same behavior. You can still show up. You can still have that be part of your being, but maybe it looks different. Maybe it's only in certain circumstances. Maybe it's just, when I feel like it. It sounds a little fickle and it sounds a little, I'm not even sure what to describe it as. But yeah, I mean, you get to do that. You get to do that. Notice how things feel in your body. Just notice. Reflect on times where the things that have really, really upset you, like when you feel anger, frustration, sadness, guilt, shame, whatever the thing is, notice the events. And you don't have to pick them apart. Just notice how it felt in your body and notice how maybe you could do something a little bit different. And start choosing yourself. That's part of choosing yourself. Listen to the signals that you're being given by your body that's responding to your internal and external environment. Listen to those, honor those, and maybe choose behavior that starts to align with that. Like for example, if you're me and you're trying to decide how accommodating you want to be and in what circumstances, know you get to choose. Know that it doesn't have to be one size fits all default response to every little thing. You get to choose. Hey, actually, I'm not there for that. Or, hey, I don't have space to prioritize this right now. I don't have the emotional availability right now. I would love to support you. I just can't do it right now. Can we talk in 5 minutes or tomorrow or whatever? Propose what you need. Allow yourself space to have the experience of acknowledging your needs and being honoring enough of yourself, to lean into that, to choose yourself. Choosing yourself is so important because when you show up as your best self, your most authentic, true version of yourself, when you do that, it does magical things for the rest of the world. The world already has everybody else. It don't have you. And I feel like you and the world deserve for you to show up as your best, most amazing self. So why not? Why not choose yourself more? So just next time you have a moment where maybe you're about to run a default pattern and maybe it doesn't feel aligned for you, just take a moment to notice. Give yourself some space, just a couple breaths. How do I feel about this in my body? This is for me, this is not, and we're gonna not run away. and then and then just make a decision based on that. Hey, I need space. Can I think about this and get back to you? I'll get back to you tomorrow or whatever the thing is. And just notice and then choose yourself. So, thank you with glitter on it for your patience and for choosing to hang out with me today. It's so appreciated. And I hope that you have a sparkly rest of your day.